Welcome to Top 5 Hive Mind. Today, we're diving into the growth stories of the top 5 largest cities in the United States: New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, and Phoenix. We'll explore how each city has grown, the biggest factors driving that growth, and how their populations have changed over the last 30 years. Let's get started with the Big Apple. New York City, New York, has long been the largest city in the U.S., with a population of 8,335,000 today. Over the last 30 years, its population grew from about 7,323,000 in 1990 to a peak of 8,804,000 in 2020, before a slight decline due to outmigration during the pandemic. That's a growth of roughly 14% over 3 decades. The biggest factor in New York's growth has been international immigration. Since the 1960s, waves of immigrants from the Caribbean, Asia, and Latin America have made New York a cultural melting pot, filling labor demands in finance, in tech, and the arts. The city's role as a global economic hub, with Wall Street and major corporations, also attracts millions, though recent years have seen population dips due to high living costs. Next up is Los Angeles, California, with a population of about 3,849,000. In 1990, LA had about 3,486,000 people, growing to a peak of 3,979,000 in 2010 before a slight decline to its current number, a net increase of about 10% over 30 years. The largest factor in LA's growth has been the entertainment industry, particularly Hollywood, which drew aspiring actors, filmmakers, and tech innovators. Immigration, especially from Latin America and Asia, also played a huge role, with communities like Koreatown and East LA thriving. However, LA has seen population shrinkage recently, losing over 71,000 residents last year due to high housing costs and domestic outmigration. Moving to Chicago, Illinois, the third largest city with a population of 2,783,000. In 1990, Chicago's population was 2,783,726, almost the same as today, but it dipped to 2,696,000 in 2010 before a slight rebound, showing a net change of nearly 0% over 30 years. Historically, Chicago boomed in the late 1900s due to industrialization, becoming a hub for railroads and manufacturing. The biggest factor in its earlier growth was immigration from Europe, followed by the Great Migration of African Americans from the South. However, the city's population peaked in 1950 at 3,620,000, and deindustrialization since the 1980s has led to stagnation, with many residents leaving for warmer, job-rich cities like Houston. Speaking of Houston, Texas, our fourth largest city, has a population of around 2,300,000. In 1990, Houston had 1,630,000 residents, growing steadily to its current size, a whopping 41% increase over 30 years. The biggest factor in Houston's growth has been the energy sector, particularly oil and gas. The city became a global energy capital, attracting workers and companies like ExxonMobil. Additionally, Houston's relatively low cost of living and no state income tax drew domestic migrants from expensive states like California. The city added 139,789 residents in 2023 alone, a 1.9% increase, showing its continued appeal despite challenges like negative domestic migration. Finally, Phoenix, Arizona ranks 5th with a population of about 1,650,000. In 1990, Phoenix had 983,000 residents, growing to 1,608,000 by 2020, a 68% increase over 30 years, making it the fastest growing of our top 5. The largest factor in Phoenix's growth has been its appeal as a Sunbelt city. Warm weather, affordable housing, and job opportunities in tech and healthcare drew retirees and young professionals alike. The city's population has consistently risen, benefiting from domestic migration as people left colder, pricier cities like Chicago and New York. Phoenix's growth mirrors broader trends in the Southwest, where cities like Tampa also saw gains. So there you have it, the growth stories of America's 5 largest cities. New York thrived on immigration, LA on entertainment, Chicago on industrial history, Houston on energy, and Phoenix on Sunbelt appeal. I'll see you in the next video.